In the previous video, we covered how to interact with the Global Configurations module and Batch Data Processing module. I highly recommend watching that before this one if you haven't. It will be linked in the description. In this video, we will be covering the Products Catalog module. While the Global Configuration module is used to set up the non-specific lookups within the system, the Products Catalog module is used to set up business rules in the system and is majorly used to define the products which are utilized in the system. For instance, since the system is based on scheme administration, we can set up various products related to pensions. This is basically a system for defining the various products, or rather, the plans available for members when they retire and become pensioners in the scheme. It is from these products whereby other aspects like pensioners' payroll will come from. The Active Products tab shows pensioner products that are active in the system. As you can see, the currently active plans are the annuity plan and the income drawdown plan. Information on the product type, table type, periodic interest rate, minimum term in years, minimum fund value, plan type, rate mode, pricing interest rate, recurring expense figure, commission rate, initial expense, and product code is displayed here. If one wants to add a new pensioner product, they can simply click on the New Pensioner Product tab and then click on the New button. They can then key in the details for the product they want to introduce to the system, then add information on the product commissions in the first lower tab and product riders in the second lower tab. The user can then click on the Save button. After saving, they can then select their newly created plan and click on the Activate button and move the plan to the Activated Products tab, which means the product can now be offered to pensioners. One can also just as easily select a particular plan and have it deactivated by clicking on the Deactivate button in the Activated Pensioners tab. Deactivated products will no longer be utilized by the system. The Deactivated Pensioners tab will contain pensioners' products which have been deactivated. Of course, one can also reactivate these products from this tab. Let's move on to the Fee Types tab. This tab simply entails the definition of expenses which are incurred by the scheme with information on the fee type description, the parent account, and the nature of the account. This involves recurring expenses that the scheme must incur after a set period of time. One can create a new fee type by clicking on the New button at the top left corner of the screen. On the Fee Setup tab, users can then set up the periodic fees of the scheme. It involves how those fees will be set up and the finance configurations of each fee. It defines the rules of payments for those fees. For example, the fees set up in the system right now are actuarial valuation fees, administration fees, AGM expenses, annual subscription fees, audit fees, and so on and so forth. To create a new fee setup, simply click on the New button at the top left corner of the screen. There you can enter details on the fee type, flat fee amount, fixed percentage, calculation field group, start date and end date. One can also set up the calculation bands. Up next is the Commission Setup tab. It entails how the scheme deals with individuals who bring business. This involves parties like brokers, agents, agencies, clients, doctors, or even direct business. It entails what commissions these intermediaries gain based on the product they are selling. To create a new commission setup, click on the New button at the top left corner of the screen. We can then fill in necessary information on the product type, the intermediary type, commission rate, clawback rate, check if it's got a periodic rate, enter the calculation field group and the calculation field, date closed, tax rate, start date, and end date. One can then click on Save. On the Commission Setup page, one can then select specific setups and approve them, sending them over to the Approved Commissions page.